Luke Ring. We're here to talk about my research paper, and if you have any questions, most things can be found in more detail in the paper itself. So to start off, I'm going to tell you what my topic is. My topic is on the criminal justice system because that's what I'm going to school for. That topic means a lot to me because that's what I've devoted my whole college career to, and that's what I want to make my career itself out of as well. To start off with, we're going to discuss what the purpose of the report is. The purpose of the report was just to go through things and to really get down to it and figure out a bigger meaning in what the criminal justice field means to most people and what it means to me. A brief history on what the criminal justice field stands for. The criminal justice field, as most people already know, that includes your police, your FBI, your DEA, and many other fields that most people might not know about. The history actually comes from it started back in it actually started in the ancient times, and most of the forms of punishment like you hear about, you'll see it on movies and stuff. It don't happen nowadays. Most of the punishments and stuff came from pre-Rome and all the ancient Greece and all of those times. Everything started before that, and their criminal justice, their punishments were their form of how to keep people out from committing these crimes. And many of them, they were pretty harsh. And that's why we don't see it today. The Constitution says that cruel and unusual punishment is not accepted. So, back in those times, crime was a private matter. There wasn't any police to call to handle your things. If something happened, you handled it yourself. And oftentimes this resulted in not so pretty of an outcome. Early Americans used practically the same system as they used in England. Most of our things were adopted from that, and then we branched on from there as the years went by. One of the big differences that we came up with here in America is the felonies and the misdemeanors, how they differ from each other. They don't operate like that in Europe. And we also started out with our system, instead of having everything set up like it is now, we started out to where whoever the victim of the crime was, the victims had to pay for, say, when they went to court, the victims had to pay the price. Well, over the years, we realized that this wasn't the way things should be, and then we developed restitution and other things. So we're going to move on from that. More details can be found in the paper, but we're going to move on to different things that are available in the field. There are tons of jobs in the field. That's one reason that I find it very secure of a field to get into, is because of the wide variety of jobs and the security that it will always be there. Speaking of security, the sheriff's departments that you'll see in your county or in any state, sheriff's departments are the only departments that are constitutionally guaranteed. No other departments, city police, federal agencies, all of those are there, but they're not guaranteed in the Constitution. So the sheriff's department will never go away as long as the Constitution stands. As for requirements, most departments, they want you to have school. They want you to go to college. And the reason they want you to go to college is because they feel that if someone has put in that much time and dedication, that they're just going to be a step ahead of everyone else. And people who've put in that much time, they're not going to be as likely to be into corruption and doing things that they shouldn't be doing on the side or not performing their duties in the manner that they should be. All departments are required to have their offers complete a basic law enforcement training, or BLET. That's the standard. You can go straight to school, take your BLET, and be done and come out and be an entry-level officer. However, most departments, they want you to have more than that. To excel, you need to have at least a 2-year degree, and the more school you have, the higher up the totem pole you start, just like any other field. Once you finish your BLET, most people think, okay, we're done with school now. You're never done with school in law enforcement. You're going to classes constantly and staying updated on the newest laws that are coming out, or how to handle situations, or recertifications. Even as something as simple as a county cop or a town cop is going down the road and he's clocking people. Well, he has to go to a class every year and keep his radar certification up. And that's just one thing out of a wide variety of things he has to do. As for moving up through the ranks, you have to not just have your schooling, but you have to keep going and getting certified in other things. Say your goal is to be a detective. You're on the street patrolling for 4 years. You have to pass a test before you can become a detective. So you go pass your detective's test. Once you pass that, if there's a position available, you move into that, and then you have that certificate. Well, you're already one step higher. So take that certificate, go get another certificate. You're one step higher. You keep getting recertified, getting new certificates, and that's the way to move up through the system. Another way to move up through the system is once you gain those certificates, you can look and broaden your horizons. You can move from just a local agency to, say, go to the federal side of things. Go FBI, ATF, anything like that, CIA, any of those departments. Those are federal entities. So they're going to be a step ahead of what your town, your county, or your state's going to provide. Once you move into those, they have a little stricter criteria to get into because they don't hire as many people and they're just held to a higher standard. So to get into those, you really need to get in there and get your schooling done. Go get your 4-year, get your master's, get your doctorate, get experience, get a job. Don't try to go straight in as something like that. Get your experience and just move up through the ranks. Take your time. So in conclusion, throughout this paper, I really just touched bases on what I've learned throughout my 2 years as I finish up my college career right now, for now. I'm not saying I won't go back. I'm finishing up everything. This was good. It was like a review of what I've learned over the years on how to go through steps, the history of the criminal justice system, and I hope you find it as enjoyable as I do. And if you have any questions, you can refer back to my paper. All right, well, thank you, and you have a good day.